I'm so happy to be with you here today for the September edition of our edX program. As many of you know, this is our second season with the program, and we're so excited to be bringing these monthly sessions to you with topics across a broad range and inviting local artists, public speakers, and experts in different fields to come visit with you. This month, I'm happy to talk a little bit about what we're doing in terms of public safety, working with Salt Lake City and others across the county, and to give you an update on what's happening in our Utah Nonprofit edX program for new initiatives, special partnerships, kind of encourage you a little bit to participate in an upcoming survey, and then really to talk about our care service coordinators, our HUD grant program that is out there helping those of you in HUD 202 senior projects. So we're going to visit a little bit on each topic, and I hope you'll learn something new today about those programs. So our first topic today that we mentioned is about public safety. So a lot of the kinds of things I want you to know about is it a call that involves our maintenance program? Is it a call that should involve the manager or the management at the property? Or is it a public safety call? So I'm hoping most of you know how to go find a handout at your local facility, use that, fill it out, and get a maintenance call slip done. And that most of you have met your local maintenance guy on your site. If you haven't, I'd encourage you to do both and make sure you know how to do that as a new move-in. Or if you haven't done it and you've lived here a long time, I'd hope that you would look to do that too. The second part of that is if it's really a manager call, then you want to be able to, under COVID times, is to call into the office, make that appointment, and then give them a sense of urgency on what that call's about. So leave your name, your phone number, what the situation is, and then ask them to call you back. Make sure you leave that callback number. Oftentimes that gets forgotten and they won't always recognize your name. So that would be the second part of it. The third part of it is do I really need to make a public safety call? And so we work a lot with Chief Mike Brown, and he'll be here to talk to you in the coming months. But I want you to know and think about a couple of topics. So I'm going to read them off to you because I want to make sure we get them right. So they're really important. So when do I make the police call? So first, is the situation simply an inconvenience to me? So that may or may not be. Their response time will differ if that's not emergent. The second part is, can I tolerate the inconvenience? So might that go away? Should I wait a few hours, see what happens? Third is somebody himself or is another person in danger? Are you or that your child or neighbor, someone in danger? That would be an immediate call, and you should dial 911. And then finally, is there a non-police service that you can call? So let's say it's a dog out, which is often the case. Then you might want to call a different service. So look each of those up, be familiar in your community. You can find these resources on our website at utahnonprofithousing.org. So public safety, is it an inconvenience? Have I waited? Is someone in danger? Should I call 911? And finally, is it a different service? It's really not a 911 call, but maybe it's about a dog that's out or garbage pickup or something like that. So get familiar with your maintenance person, know your manager, and know when to call 911. I think those will all help you live safely and securely and feel good about your home environment. So the next topic I want to visit with you a little bit about is our Utah Nonprofit edX program. So most of you have probably met Ginger Tolman. She's our regional educational division manager for that. She reaches out and creates community partnerships, brings you those speakers we were talking about earlier, and puts together all the handouts, resources, and launches it online. So if you haven't used those materials, you've only spent a little bit of time with them, they're all posted up on our website. I would encourage you to go there, look at topics related to issues in your household that are directly related to you and get familiar with them. The second thing is what is it our edX program hopes to do? And so it's really providing you with educational opportunity in a couple of categories. So we like to say it stands on 5 pillars. And those 5 pillars include housing resources, employment services, financial literacy, mastering digital technology or closing the digital divide, and then finally creating that sense of well-being and personal health for you and your family. So again, 5 pillars, and that's what you see every month coming to you. We hope that you'll engage online. Again, they're at UtahNonprofitHousing.org. You'll see those videos posted up, and they're great. They're all less than 20 minutes, worth your time. And always check out the resources Ginger provides you, because on there, there's supplements, so you can dive in as deep as you want to a topic, or just pull out what you need. So we appreciate you participating, and we're hoping it's helpful to you. So which of you knows what Enhanced HUD Service Coordination is? I bet not very many, except for those who are living at properties that are 55 plus if you're a tax credit HUD 202 combined, or 62 plus if you just live at a HUD property. Those facilities have what's called a HUD Service Coordinator. That's provided through a grant. It's directed to your property, and instead of doing overall services, which is what our Utah Nonprofit Housing EdX program does, this program is meant to provide direct advocacy to you as an individual. So for instance, this is a long list, and our people work really hard delivering these services to you, but I'm going to ask you to excuse me, and I'm going to read you this long, intensive list of things. I'm so proud of what they do with you, and I know many of you could advocate back and what a great job they're doing. So it includes things like advocacy, assessments for your personal needs, benefits, entitlement, and insurance support, helping you make those phone calls. It might be just resource and referral. Do you need to have transportation services? You want to hook up with a pharmacy who delivers? You want to know which grocery stores during COVID deliver to you, or you can arrange for that. It includes things like education and employment services if you still want to work, you're working part-time. Do you have those right technologies? Are you hooked up with digital literacy? Do you know how to run the equipment? Family support and homemaker services. So are there things you don't know how to do in your new environment that need adaptive services that we could help you out with, that they can make a referral for? Meals and transportation. Have you hooked up with the monthly delivery to the facility that does the food box? Or do you know how to resource the Utah Food Bank? So things like that are really important. They also do some of those traditional things, right? Do you understand your lease? Do you know how to file a complaint? And do you know how to follow up to make sure you can get those kinds of things worked out? So again, if you're aging in place, you need help, they'll be there for you to bring in those additional services and or even help you when it's time to make a move. So I hope you will call them, get to know them, and spend some time letting them be able to see if there's more things they can do to help support you in your current living environment. So again, I want to thank you for joining us and being with us today. These are a few of the things on our services side that I think are important for everyone to know about, whether you're living in a family property or you're living in a senior property. We hope you'll use the services, be familiar, and get online and take advantage of that educational opportunity. So before we go today, I wanted to talk to you about a couple new initiatives we have. It's taken a long time to put them together, but we're excited to be delivering them to you this fall. So the first one is really a notice app. And that particular program lets us create calendaring, both a master calendar from our corporate office, Ginger works on. It also lets us upload all those favorite activities you have, or if you have a care coordinator, adding all that programming and special needs stuff to it. And it includes things like creating clubs, gathering meetings at your property, or doing things like couponing and some incentives that we can offer you and put up there to make your monthly budget a little bit easier. Our second thing is you can use that actually on either your phone or your computer. So I don't want those of you who don't have a home computer to think you'll be left out. You should be able to use it on both if you have smart technology. Then we're also doing a new program with Intermountain Healthcare. And it's a little bit longer longitudinal study. We'll be doing it with our Preservation Fund Housing First, but we'll be modeling social determinants of health and tracking whether access to housing, digital literacy and computer smart technologies, and some core services makes a difference in improving people's quality of life. So for those of you who don't know, our direct mission is to improve quality of life. And we do that by providing housing first. So I want you to understand the connections between these things as we're going forward. So I hope that you'll join in those programs from your properties, get more familiar. If you don't have smart technologies in your household, please utilize those community rooms where there's computers there for you. You can learn there, and then as you can able to afford it, or you can check in with Ginger, there might be a service program out there that could help you. We provide many of these services to you through generous donations from local foundations, financial institutions, and private donors. Each year they ask us to provide an impact study on what those services did for you. So we're hoping this year, as we begin to survey you in the month of October, that you'll respond and say, which programs did you like? Which programs should we dive into more? And in fact, do you have ideas about what new programming could be, or speakers you'd like us to bring in to present to you? I hope they're of benefit to you. We'll continue to reach and strive harder each year. This is the end of our second year, so we're hoping next year to implement some new tools and technologies and be there with you throughout the year addressing the issues that come up in your daily lives. Thanks for being a Utah Nonprofit resident, and I look forward to talking to you again.